Okay, we're in Shaar Gimel Perek Yud Aleph, the very end. We're going to finish it, God willing. And in the Hagah, and what we've said until now, which is possibly the most important thing that we have to know, B'chlal, is the Pshat in Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. As basic as that, Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad means that Hashem, which is the Shem Ha'etzem of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, which refers to the Atzmius of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, someplace that we don't even understand. Elokeinu refers to something we do understand. Elokeinu is the Baal HaKoyches Kulam. It means everything in the world. Baal HaKoyches Kulam, everything from Malachim down, higher than Malachim. So those are two different things. Hashem, Yud Kei Vav Kei is one thing, and Elokeinu is another thing. So Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. That Shem Ha'etzem, and all of the things that we see in what's called in Kabbalistic language the Alma de Piruda. It's a world of Pirud, not Echad. But nevertheless, Hashem Echad. Don't think that there's Hashem and there's Elokeinu. Hashem Echad. It's the basic polemic pasuk against Avodah Zarah. And obviously, what Nefesh Hachaim is bringing out is he worried about the question about where is Hashem. This is what we've been learning the whole Shaar Gimel. If he's everywhere, that means he's in the table. So Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. In his Hesber, there's Mitzidai and Mitzidenu. I'm going through this quickly because we've said it a few times. We just want to get it clear in our minds. There's Mitzidai and Mitzidenu. That the Shem Etzem of HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yud Kei Vav Kei, Mitzidai. Shem Elokeinu is Mitzidenu, our concept, our ability to conceive of something. And they're two different things, but they're all one thing, Hashem Echad. Mitzidai, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is everywhere, in everything, but don't go there because then you're going to end up worshiping tables and things. Eitz ve'efen. So, but you have to know the idea of Hashem Echad. Hashem Echad. Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. So the Hagah began to say, "B'zeh yuvan ma'amarim zal psachim nun vav amud aleph b'inin hashevach Baruch Shem Kvod Malchuso li'olam v'ed b'yichud kriyas Shema." So let me remind you what the Gemara says. The Gemara says that Yaakov Avinu was sitting with his sons, B'yomoso. He didn't say anything, but Bikesh L'galos Haketz. He wanted to say something. He wanted to tell his sons, the Bnei Yisrael, which he spent his whole life forming. He wanted to tell them about the Kates, presumably, like, let's do the tikkun. Okay, I've formed the Bnei Yisrael. We have a chet of the Eitz Hadas. It's been working through Noach and the Mabul and Avraham and Yitzchak and everything. Now it's time to Bikesh L'galos Haketz. Now it's time. We did it. I formed the Bnei Yisrael. We can make the tikkun. But Nistalkim and Shechina, that didn't work for him. He lost his nevuah at that moment, and he thought that must be somebody here is not Roy. Rashi says Yaakov had an Esav, Yitzchak had a Yishmael. There's always these sotnim baderach, and obviously what he saw was, and I want to explain this point, what he saw was a pirud. He didn't see his sons working together. He didn't see them as one. And if they're not as one, nistalkum mimeno shchina. I didn't speak about this last time, but I want to speak about it a minute now, and maybe even more on Shabbos. It's a very, very deep thing, this one thing. Again, not to be confused with what everybody in the world calls achdus, which we're not caring about. What we're caring about is what does it really mean? So he said, there's separation amongst you. And they answered, Shema Yisrael, Hashem, Shema Yisrael, Elov Medaber, says Rashi, talking to Yaakov. His name was Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu. This is where it comes from. Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. The first case, if you will, of Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. Then Moshe Rabbeinu repeated it in Sefer Dvarim, Parshas Veschanan. He repeated this because Hashem told him to repeat it, but it was there in Klal Yisrael. It was there in the Torah. It was in the Torah Shabbat Nagid until Moshe Rabbeinu said it. So what was their answer? Baruch Shem Kvod Malchuso li'olam va'ed. I'm sorry, they said Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. So the Gemara says beautifully, they didn't just say a pasuk Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu. When you learn this Gemara quickly, you say, no, I believe, we all believe, we're good people. Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. No, that's not what the Gemara says. The Gemara says, Kishem shein belibcha ela echad, kachein belibenu ela echad. We're talking about echad. What you see is pirud. It's Reb Tzadok's Hezber, which is beautiful in Risisei Laila. We're talking about pirud. What you see is pirud. Nistalkum imcha shchina. The shchina left you. So they said, you see pirud, but it's not pirud. Where it's pirud in how we look and what we're doing, and we're trying to kill each other. That's true. there is a little pirud there. However, Bilibenu eino elo echad. There's a certain achdus. Let's call it achdus haneshama. That there is a neshama klali, which is bigger than any one of us sitting here in the room. And that's really, we're all in that same circle, we're all in that same neshama together. So just like you're echad, we're echad, except that we're divided on the practical level. Said Yaakov Avinu, Baruch Shem Kvod Malchuso li'olam va'ed. Oh, this is Malchus.
Yaakov didn't see the inner connection? He only saw the pirud?
Right, he saw the pirud. Well, he didn't even see the pirud. He saw that the Shechina was nostalgic.
So why the Shechina nostalgic?
Because there has. So this is what I want to explain to you for a minute.
Was nostalgic from him or
from him? From his nevuah. He couldn't say nevuah. So okay, everybody's saying good. What didn't he see? Was the Shechina not? Was the Shechina? Why was the Shechina nostalgic in any case?
Kates. When it says it's out of God, it's the Kates. What Kates are you talking about?
Mashiach.
Our Kates, after all the sufferings and everything.
I think the Maral explains that he wanted to say right then, Mashiach is coming. But not said particular.
Did he see it and then he saw pirud, or he was trying to see it and he only?
I want to suggest the following. Again, as I say, it's a bit of a preview to what I'm. Just before I say, I want to say that it's interesting. Parshas Korach. It's a vart to take home. Parshas Korach. So, what was he thinking? We can take on Moshe Rabbeinu. It's just plain stupid. It's both from the fact that Moshe Rabbeinu spoke to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the biggest Navi of all times, and also he did have. You would have thought he had the popular. I mean, everybody saw it. He brought the Torah. He saved them by the ego. Moshe Rabbeinu saved them by the. What was he thinking? I believe that the pshat is not like everybody thinks. What he was thinking was, and this was his stage, his platform, that Moshe Rabbeinu, you're an Ish Elokim. You're way too high for this job. You're going to get involved in the people complaining about food, and you're going to get involved. You can't get into Eretz Yisrael. You're going to get involved in all the silliness and machlekes of Klal Yisrael. Even the Mishkan that's beneath it. Why do you? Your job is to be the rabbi. You deal with HaKadosh Baruch Hu and you say the nevuah. I don't think Korach was ever, if you look at it, B'chol ha'eda kulam kadoshim. A kadosh means somebody who's taken their gashmius and they're put aside for a davar kadosh. That's what kadosh means, separated, right? Harei ha'mekudeshesli. So I think Korach's platform was, you'll hear me, I think it's Pashut Pshat. Korach's platform was, Moshe Rabbeinu, stick to the Ruchnius. Let us lead the people. Let us be in charge of the people, which we've seen over and over again in history. We see it today in the Medinat Yisrael. We see it in every shul. Rabbi, you did a rabbi thing. Let us take care of the buildings. Let us take care of everything. Now, the problem with that is two things. First of all, usually the people don't do a good job. And usually, rabbis tend to be control freaks. But it's the ultimate, what Korach was saying was the ultimate separation of church and state, excuse my French. It's the ultimate, you're up there. What's the teretz? The teretz is that Moshe Rabbeinu, in order for him to be Megala the Torah b'Sinai, He has to be the most down-to-earth Torah that can possibly be. He's not stuck on Har Sinai. He's completely he's completely bringing the Torah down to the most earthly level that's possible. So it's a mistake that you stay there and I'll go here. Rav Soloveitchik used to say that like this dichotomy of you go here, you go there, is the dichotomy that we're going through in all the generations, but it's wrong. What's correct is that there's a complete integration of Shamayim va'aretz. That what Moshe Rabbeinu is in Shamayim, that's what he's going to bring to our Shema Yisrael. Hashem Elokeinu, it's Hashem Echad. That's the whole Nesius of Moshe Rabbeinu. The punishment for Korach was he got swallowed up by the earth.
Hadn't you said that's why he needed Aaron to be his own?
He said Aaron was also to Himmeldik for Korach. He says so. So but my point is linyanenu is that there's this natural tendency. You see it every day. I see it, I see it in the government, you see it in shul, you see it everywhere. There's a natural tendency to make this division. And there's a lot to say about that division, but it's not a true division because Torah has to permeate every single item in this world. What is true is that people should be helping and people should be doing this. That's true, but it's not true that this is your tchum, this is my tchum. That was the Korach machlokes. That was a Korach argument.
The traits that the Rebbe described is in terms of like needing somebody who can build. And eventually, Yehoshua would be that. Yehoshua took over where Moshe Rabbeinu.
Right, perfect
didn't have
Tiferes.
traits for it.
Perfect Tiferes. Yeah, I mean, there was perfect Tiferes. He was able to be. I don't know that Moshe Rabbeinu didn't have the traits for it, but Hashem said that Yeshua is going to take over. I don't know if that's true. He hit a rock. That's why he didn't go into Eretz Yisrael.
Moshe would have gone into Eretz Yisrael. He would carry on.
He would have done that. Who said that he wouldn't do it? Miriam said that. That was Lashon Hara. Miriam said that he couldn't do it.
Yehoshua was able to manage this whole.
So would have Moshe. So would have Moshe, except that he hit a rock. The only thing we know about Moshe not going to Eretz Yisrael is he hit a rock. That's all he did. So yeah. Well, I'm sorry. Same thing. I mean, no, but Yisro was coming from a theological world where he was saying, "Get yourself out of the Gashmis a little bit." Moshe Rabbeinu Dafka was putting himself into it. No, maybe not. Maybe he was saying something deeper than a system. Maybe what he was saying is that what do you novel tibol, gamato gamham. He was saying two things: novel tibol gamato gamham. Like you don't have to be involved in all the adjudications and all the what do you have to do for it? And Moshe Rabbeinu said, "I do too, but you need help. Okay, you need help. I need help. That's a different thing." It's a doctor. By the way, I'm not. Personally, I don't suffer from this. I'm not. This is not a group therapy session. No. I'm just saying that it occurs to me that this was the Korach Moshe dilemma. So it gets back to our issue. Let me just tell you something which I think is murdic. That in order for the kates, in order for the geula to happen, there has to be achdus. What does it mean? Let's think like grown-ups here. What does it mean? It doesn't mean everybody's doing the same thing. It doesn't mean anything like that. It means that in the time of Shlomo HaMelech, HaKadosh Baruch Hu was Korea the Malchus. There was one Malchus. There was one group called Bnei Yisrael, all the way from Mitzrayim, all the way until Shlomo HaMelech. The Beis HaMikdash is built. All of a sudden, which we have to talk about, but it doesn't make any difference for right now. But all of a sudden, Achi Ashiloni comes, and B'Nevuas Hashem, he's Korea the Malchus, and he gives half of it, gives most of it, 10/12 of it to Yeravam and Nevat, and 1/12 of it to Shlomo HaMelech and his son. So there was a Kriyas HaMalchus. If you go fast forward from the beginning of the Beis HaMikdash all the way till the end of the Beis HaMikdash by Yisrish in the time of Yirmiyahu, and many nevuahs in between. What was the tefillah? The tefillah was, what was the nevuah? What was the tefillah? What was the passion? The passion was, Yachad Shivtei Yisrael. Right? We're all singing it. Yachad, Yachad. Yeah. What are we saying? Yachad. Yeah. What we're saying is undo the Kriyas HaMalchus, which took place by Shlomo HaMelech and lasted forever. Ad Hayom Hazeh. The Kriyas HaMalchus. What we're davening for is that Yachad. Listen to the words of Yaakov Avinu. Echad we don't have. Nachon? What am I saying? So what do I have? I have 12 sons here, or 12 Shvatim, and everybody's going in a different direction. Everybody's saying something else, and this is not good. This is Kriyas HaMalchus. Then they said, no, Ein b'libeinu ela echad. We are Mashiachtik, because although we're Karua in so many different directions, and we're even killing each other, but there is a makom of echad in the lave. So that's there. In other words, all's not lost. Yes, it's karua, but yes, there's an echad, even when it's karua. What did Yaakov Avinu say to Dayek? Baruch Shem Kvod Malchuso. Malchus. Because when we say this pasuk of Baruch Shem Kvod Malchuso, we're thinking Kabbalah. That's our pasuk of Shaar. Chesed Gvura Tiferes Netzach saying Malchus. Hashem is Malchus. Okay. Or we're thinking that Baruch Shem Kvod Malchuso. Look at the wonderful things that Hashem said, did. Look at His bria. But Lefi, what we're saying, he was saying something different. I see a Malchus where there is no Malchus. There is a Malchus Belev, which has to Druksachais, and a Malchus Bepoil. So Bikesh Legalis is Akates, but he saw that there's separation here. So they told him it's a separation, but we're still connected at the hip. We're still connected by Neshama. And he said, okay, this is Malchus. Meaning this is Malchus. Malchus is the Alma Tepiruda. Malchus is where everything is split up. Who wants a government of one party? Malchus is where everything is all split up and everybody's arguing with each other until they finally come to the Echad. But that's at the end of days. Yeah.
How did they know that?
Just one second. Well,
Shlomo Melech, right? Before the period, he built the Beis Hamikdash. There was Achdus. There was.
Achdus.
Why didn't Mashiach come right there and then?
It would have.
No, but
It would have.
it could have come. I mean, it was.
He messed
done.
up.
It was done.
He messed up.
No, but before he messed up, it was good.
We married Bas Parah on the same day, right?
Yeah. Right away. He married Bas Parah.
Shows you in the beginning.
Malka Shiva. He married Malka Shiva a couple of days later.
So that's-
And married Bas Parah the same day he built the Beis Hamikdash. That law of Nashim Rabbis, whatever, he messed up.
The seed was already there.
He messed up with the Beis Hamikdash. Could have been the Gula, for sure would have been the Gula. That would have been the Gula, the Kates. But it's so on Shabbos I want to speak about Shlomo HaMelech, which is a sugya unto itself, but interesting sugya, it was a scary sugya. Maybe you shouldn't bring your son to this one. but it's the point I'm making is Echad, not Echad. Malchus, not Malchus. Malchus, in a sense, is a steer to Echad. It's the same sequence of Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad, is Baruch Shem Kvod Malchuso L'Olam V'ed, and Baruch Atah Hashem Elokeinu Melech Olam. It's all the same sequence where you get Yud Kei Vav Kei, Baruch Atah Hashem, Elokeinu, Elokim, Malchus, Melech Olam, Shem, Malchus. Yeah.
If I understand you correctly,
Sorry.
you're saying that the precondition to the tikkun is achdus. However, throughout our history, when left to our own devices, we've never achieved achdus.
You noticed that too.
Quite the opposite. Quite the opposite is true. Every moment in our history as Jewish people that has resulted in a form of achdus was divinely inspired. Yaakov and Esau, Ma'amad Har Yitziat Mitzrayim, Ma'amad Har Sinai. All this was due to one thing only: an intervention by HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Let me just comment. Yeah, what's your conclusion?
If we're going to reach that moment when there's a possibility to have a achdus and precondition to the tikkun and B'yat HaMashiach, again, it's only going to happen when there's divine intervention.
I think that you're 100% wrong, because the whole geula is based on the process of Isarusa de Lasata. The whole geula is based by Sheni, Kitcha Yisrael. We have to come to this. We have to come to this, and you're right, it's never happened before in history. And it started, our period, that's exactly the tikkun that we need to make, and it can happen. But maybe you need a Mashiach. A Mashiach is really, forgive me, nothing more than a great leader that everybody accepts. We haven't had one of those. So a great leader that everybody accepts. A Melech, what's Mashiach? Mashiach is a Melech, Melech HaMashiach. And instead of having two kings, as the Nevi'im say, Melech Yehuda and Melech Yisrael, you're going to have one king, which is the Melech Mashiach, and he's going to be Ma'achad Ol Klal Yisrael. But that's got to come from below. The Nakuda is, though, there is a Maila in this division. And the tikkun has to be made, ironically, through the division. It's just a scary and dangerous place, because in division you can lose connection with each other completely. We can lose klita. So the idea is to make the division develop as far as possible and as much as possible, and then comes Mashiach somehow, and it's ma'achad to echad. But what you're saying historically is correct. What's nogay the future, it's incorrect, because that's exactly the tikkun that we have to make.
Yeah, if Yosef was Megal himself to the Shvatim prematurely, so there was a tikkun that was not achieved then. So how did the Shvatim know to say that Beliban were
Yaakov or Yosef?
No, by Yosef there was a tikkun that was required, and he didn't bring it about.
Right.
So we're still suffering from that. So the question is, so how did the Shvatim able to assert that there was a yichud?
I think al pi regesh. I think al pi regesh. In other words, these were big people, and they understood that as much as we argue with each other, as much as we fight, and as much as we have wars, literally wars, there's on the Madrega of Leiv, it's all one. You don't feel that? I feel it. You don't have to be a Navi to feel it. In other words,
you can have war with somebody, but you
I gave a mashal on Sunday with Sahal. So they could be Sfardim, Ashkenazim, Chilonim, Datim, Charedim, everything. L'chayra, they're when they're on the battlefield, they're saving everybody. No, isn't it true? I hope. I hope they're protecting everybody. So there's a certain that's Mashiach, by the way, because there's an echad there which doesn't exist necessarily, let's say, in the Knesset or in Shul or in society b'chol. It doesn't exist. But like when that echad, just like they say, there's no atheist on a battlefield. There's no division on a battlefield. There is an echad there, which is Baruch Hashem. As long as that exists, that's been the success here, both begashmis and beruchnius. But the hafladik nekuda is that Yaakov Avinu, what he saw, was the division. He didn't just see their division. He saw the division of all of Klal Yisrael, like Rabbi Ephraim says, the division that's going to more and more and spread. Ad kedei kriyas beged Yerovam ben Nevat. Ad kedei, and what they told them, they comforted Yaakov that this is all part of the process. So what his response was, Malchus, Baruch Shem Kvod Malchuso, Li'olam V'ed. Why do we say b'chashoy? One last thing. The Gemara says that to say it, we should say Baruch Shem Kvod Malchuso. We should scream it out loud, because Yaakov Avinu said it. We can't say it at all because Moshe Rabbeinu didn't say it. Moshe Rabbeinu. So, everyone notice? Can anyone tell me by heart what is the context of the Shema? The context of the Shema. Shema you say every day, right? So, what's the context? Where does he say? Like he doesn't say, by the way, it doesn't say anywhere, Moshe Rabbeinu doesn't say anywhere. It's so beautiful. Don't take it the wrong way. I'm just saying the Chumash is so beautiful. It's,
And you're a scholar.
It's my haskava. No, what I mean to say is Navi, Moshe Rabbeinu was the biggest Navi of all the Nevi'im. You could see it in the Ksab. as beautiful as Yeshayahu is, it's not as beautiful as the Chumash. It's not as meduyak, and it's just not the same. But it's a Torah. I'm not saying no, but I'm saying it's Adon Kol Anavim, just mamish written by HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But in any case, Moshe Rabbeinu in Parshas Veschanon says, "V'haya ki yaviacha Hashem Elokecha la'eretz hatoiva asher Hashem Elokecha noisen lecha," that there will come a time that Hashem will bring you into Eretz Yisrael, and you want to be able to stay there. You don't want to get kicked out of there, and you don't want to suffer from all the goyim asher yisavavucha. Take a look, Parshas Veschanon, I believe it's Shishi. So he says, here's what you need to do. Moshe Rabbeinu says, by the way, he doesn't say you need to say Kriya Shema. He never said that. He said, Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. First thing you need to know when you're in Eretz Yisrael is the Achdus Hashem. Number two, V'yahavta as Hashem Elokecha b'chol levavcha b'chol nafshecha b'chol me'yadecha. Or in the words of Chazal, the first thing you need to do is be Makabel Ol Malchus Shemayim. Second thing you need to do is be Makabel Ol Mitzvahs. And then Eretz Yisrael will work for you. It'll all work for you. It'll all be good. The world, the Eretz Nasni Yavula, everything will be perfect. But what Moshe Rabbeinu was saying in the context, it's just very, very important to understand. You're going to come into Eretz Yisrael, you want to stay in Eretz Yisrael, meaning you want a geula. You want a geula. So this is what you need to do to have a geula. You need to go to Eretz Yisrael, which I'm not doing, he said. You need to go to Eretz Yisrael, and you need to be Makabel Ol Malchus Shemayim, and need to be Makabel Ol Mitzvah. Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. That's what I'm saying here is perfect and pashut in the pasuk. You don't need any Pirush Rashi for that. That's how the pasuk reads. Just open up a Devarim and you'll see this in Parshas Veschanon. Baruch Shem Kvod Malchuso Le'olam V'ad, stuck in the middle of that would have meant oy vey. There's going to be a lot of galus. There's going to be a lot of machlokes. There's going to be a lot of division. There's going to be a lot of wars. There's even going to be killing. So Moshe Rabbeinu just said, Shema Yisrael, let's talk about the Geula. So here's what Chazal's dilemma. Do we talk about the Achdus of HaKadosh Baruch Hu in Galus, or do we stick to what Moshe Rabbeinu said? Moshe Rabbeinu spoke about the Geula. Shema Yisrael, Kabbalas Ol Malchus Shemayim, Kabbalas HaMitzvahs. Yeah? And Yaakov inserted, if you will, retroactively, Yaakov inserted, whoa, there's Malchus here. There's the Baruch Shem Kvod between Shema Yisrael and V'yahavta as Hashem Elokecha. There's a big distance called Baruch Shem Kvod Malchuso Le'olam Malchus division. Baruch, it's okay. It's a process. To say it out loud, who wants to say it out loud? Not to say it, it's a fact. Yaakov Avinu said it. Say it quietly. This is the pshara between Yaakov Avinu, but not a halachic pshara like in a Beis Din. Between we didn't know what to do. Do you go Yaakov like he said? Do you go Moshe? No. Is this whole piece of the Bria sayable b'chlal? So Shtulahait, we know, this is so important for us. Shtulahait, we know that we're going to come into Eretz Yisrael, which we did in the time of Yoshua. And we're going to build a Beis HaMikdash like we did in the time of Shlomo HaMelech. And then we're going to have Kriyas HaMalchus like we did in the time of Yeravam ben Nevat. And it's going to go bad and bad. This is all that whole tkufa is Baruch Shem Kvod Malchuso Le'olam V'ad. Ad, the Navi tells us that Yachad. So that when we talk about Achdus, talking about a very, very deep thing. And it's not something that has to sort of come by process, naturally, because it has to be. Sarusa de Lasata. All that being said, I just want to, I promised I would do this. I don't want to be over. Go ahead.
Does that mean that the debate is whether there is Achdus in the Galus or not?
Achdus belief.
But I say this debate about Baruch Shem, whether to say it or not, that's right. The question is, when you don't have Achdus as Mr. Galeh, there is Achdus.
I don't think so. I think maybe.
Yom Kippur, maybe. I was always wondering why Yom Kippur.
Right. So we have to talk about that. But either as you're saying, or what we're saying is that like not everything has to be spoken out. So there's division. Malchus is division. Alma de Piruda.
Why not. It's the most important message. According to what we're saying,
It's the most important message, but it's an ugly process in a way. In other words, the Shivtei Yisrael fighting with each other was an ugly process. So maybe b'chashoy we have to know that's the process. Rabbi Kiva haya misachik. He saw the process. He was able to smile.
Yeah.
Most people cry. You're
But
supposed to cry.
It's not what I think the Rosh says. It's not we become homogenized like one kind of thing.
I don't think that should ever be.
Right. So now we
I don't think that's ever. We're supposed to be Shivtei Yachad Shivtei Yisrael. We're supposed to be different Shvatim.
but it's the same.
Of course, Levi's never going to do. I mean, in the best case scenario, Levi his job and Yisachar his job and Zebulun has his job. Nobody's saying that that's not going to happen.
It's a mosaic.
A mosaic God.
We don't say Arei At Mikudeshly for better or for worse. We don't look.
That's their oisafa.
We're not Moses that.
The mosaic is correct because the mosaic is Moshe Rabbeinu breaking the luchos and falling into a million different stones, and putting those stones back together throughout the development of history is called a mosaic. That's Moshe mosaic. That's what the word is. In other words, it's about putting it together, but not putting it together homogenized, as you say. It's putting it together as a proper nation. That's a good thing. That's a good thing if everyone has a different job. It'd be so boring if everybody was like the same. Now the problem is everybody wants to be the same. That's a problem now. Like if you're not like this, you're not the real thing. That to me is ugly, because it's not real. It's not the way Hashem designed the thing. Okay, let's learn a little bit further. All this is to explain the Gemara Psachim. Baruch Shem Kvod Malchuso b'yichud Kriya Shema, that we say that by Kriya Shema, Shiskinu Yoim Ruhu Mechashoy. And here's the part we didn't say yet. Mashal, the Gemara says, Mashal Lebas Melech Shehericha Tzike Kedera. The Gemara wants to give a mashal as to why we say it quietly to a Bas Melech. Means not just a princess, but a very wealthy person. Bas Melech Shehericha Tzike Kedera. So she gets a sniff of Tzike Kedera. What are Tzike Kedera? Hebraists? What do you say?
Spicy stew.
Well, you don't cheat. I'm just. What word are you? I don't know. You're whispering. B'chashoy. Why are you saying b'chashoy? Cook. What do you have there? Tzike Kedera.
It's a spicy stew.
It means cholent.
Spicy stew.
The nakuda with cholent is the poor man's food. It smells great. Just come in here Thursday night, and there's cholent for mishmer, and it's like overwhelming. Somebody's kid, who was it? Not yours. The Rothenberg son sitting here talking to me. He says, "I can't think that cholent is." So that's the Tzike Kedera. So the Bas Melech comes, and she smells the Tzike Kedera. She smells the cholent.
The point is that the food that's not worthy for her?
Yeah.
Because it's true.
By the way, I go through this every Thursday night. Not that I'm any Bas Melech, but like I smell the cholent, and I think to myself, first of all, it's not healthy for me. Second of all, lo matim, go take cholent. So I leave the cholent alone. But let's say a Bas Melech smells the Tzike Kedera. So what happens? He's chilu avodel lahavi la b'chashoy. So she gets her assistants. Bring me some of the cholent, and she brings it. They bring it quietly, chashoy. They bring it quietly, secretly. They bring her in some cholent. Here, Bas Melech, princess, have some cholent. It's okay. Can have cholent. This is a layman's food. This is not she shouldn't be eating cholent. So what's the Gemara's mashal here? Just like the Avodim bring the Tzike Kedera to the Bas Melech quietly, so too we say Baruch Shem Kvod Malchuso quietly. You know what it means? I have to go, but it means that the Baruch Shem Kvod Malchuso is cholent. That's what the Gemara is saying. Cholent, by the way, is the reason why it's not a chashuv food, is because it's made from Tzikei Kedera, look at the Gemara in Chulin, I think Ayin Zayin talks about Tzikei Kedera. It's made from all the leftover meat that you have, like the end pieces and the things that the butcher chopped off and couldn't sell. You put it all together, and you either make chopped meat out of it or you make cholent. That's what it is. It's a stew. That's what a stew is, right? That's what he said, stew? That's what a stew is. So what's going on over here? Think about stew. Baruch Shem Kvod Malchuso le'olam v'ed. Think about stew. What is stew? Bunch of little pieces coming together and cooking, and it's a cheap way of doing it, but it smells great. So this is the stew is the mashal for the Kollel Yisrael, taking all the she'eris hapleta and those that have survived all of this galus, putting it together in one sholent, and you get like sort of like a show like this, right? Like a lot of different elements coming together as one. It's a beautiful thing, but people don't want that. People want, I'm a this, I'm a that. This is my people. This is my people. They don't want this achdus.
Sholem is not a melting pot.
Melting
It's
pot.
the opposite.
Yeah, it's a. Well, I don't know. Why is the opposite?
So cholent, the ingredients remain intact to a certain extent. They influence each other. The meat is the meat.
Not the opposite.
The potato is the potato. The melting pot was, America in the mid 1900s. It's everybody. I have friends growing up, Italian, Irish, Spanish,
Me
Jewish.
too.
Even when I was a kid, he was the Italian kid.
Do you know?
Their
do,
kids.
do you know
are
what?
The American kids. They're not. They've lost.
They lost that.
They lost their.
So the
their-
cholent is got to be an opposite mashal. We don't lose. Like you don't overcook the cholent.
Harev
And then you have
is an irbuv.
the earbuv without a.
Harev is tasty. It's an irbuv. The same.
You know why American cheese is called American cheese? Because they take all the different parts of the different cheddar cheese, this kind of cheese, that kind of cheese. They put it in a melting pot, bring it together. America. That's the source of the word American cheese. Don't say I never taught you anything.
That's the problem in America.
That is America. It's an American cheese. It all tastes exactly the same. And if it looks different, they put a little food coloring in it. No, it's the same. So Abazan Nistayim, because I have to go. But what we've come to is the Gemara tells us, after all of this, which fits in perfectly, I believe, that the Baruch Shem Kvod Malchuso le'olam v'ed should be said b'chashoy, like the Avodim bring the princess her cholent b'chashoy, meaning enjoy it. It's good. It's beautiful. Kollel Yisrael is beautiful, but it's not the geula. It's not the geula. It's something you eat quietly. Hence the mashal and the nimshal of saying Baruch Shem Kvod Malchuso, the shviras HaMalchus, if you will, can be together b'leiv echad, but it doesn't have the geula, mamish the geula of yachad Shivtei Yeshurun. You're not eating steak. You're not eating. It's a different thing. Thank you very much. Have a good Shabbos.